Today is 30th of July, market trade inside day, down 39.5673. Now the previous section itself, we see a wide range bar, and this is the largest range in the recent move. So it's not unexpected to experience pullback. Now if you continue to trade sideways, there will be generally positive. I'd like to see eventually it take out this recent high here of 5713. Our support is actually at this pivot high here, which is about 5600. Notice 1326 are well placed and they are rising, diverging, and this is the indication of strong trend. Now, mainly these are dominated by the two bank stock, DBS and OCBC in particular. Let's take a look at Nasdaq as proxy for US. It's quite evident that the index is consolidating because of the flat 1326 SMA, and we have this support which was taken out a few days ago, and there was a follow through. The only consolation that during this period we don't see very heavy selling. So basically it dropped because of lack of demand. Whatever the case may be, it is important to continue to watch. If you plot the major moving averages, it's just taken out the 100 days. Now 200 days is still rising, so it provides some support. So I'd like to see the reaction at this level. The fact that if you retrace and test the 200 days, it does indicate that the market will take longer times to recover. We may not see something like this in the past. You notice it broke the 200 days and managed to actually stage V reversal. So usually we may not see V reversal. Usually we'll see the stock, or rather the markets actually trade sideways, forming a base before it move up again. In the interest rate environment, high interest rate environment is usually more difficult. Now let's take a look at some of the stocks we've been discussing. This is DBS. Very strong move, and today trade inside day. Look for eventual break above this high here of $75. OCBC. Again, very strong move. Today trade inside day. Notice also yesterday itself we have a wide range bar. So again, we'd like to actually observe if you can trade sideways, look for eventual break above the recent high of 29.78. UOB will be more difficult to actually manage because it has a gap, and this gap does provide some challenge, right? So if you notice that you managed to close the gap, but generally lackluster compared to OCBC and DBS. Another brochure that was strong is actually SETS, but it's losing momentum. This is evident from the closing, the converging of this SMA. So again, if you can trade sideways, I'd like to see a new base form and eventually take out the recent high of 480. Now, SA just released its earnings, and it's slightly negative rather. So it's actually still stuck in the trend range. We'll probably have to give it some time. The fact that it managed to actually quickly move up and close the gap is positive. Sheng Siong. Now we discussed this stock for quite some time. It's just slow and steady. It's now consolidating. Just released result, generally positive. Notice wide range bar with increased volume. Look for it to actually take out this pivot high here decisively, and that is at about 335. We also discussed IX Biopharm for a couple of weeks. Finally, it actually broke up from consolidation. This is about 3.5 month consolidation. Very decisive break. Notice a high volume and now experiencing pullback, slightly lower volume. This is a small dipper setup. Bar high is at 55 cents. We discussed the IPO stock Jasco of last few weeks because we like this reversal pattern. Notice during the downward swing, the volume drive very significantly and followed by a nice run. Unfortunately, there was no follow through after this, just straight sideways with low volume, so it may consolidate sideways. Look for eventual break above the high here of 715. I just have to be mindful that the IPO price is 94 cents, and 94 cents is a resistance. We also discussed foundations health, but unfortunate it retraced below the IPO price. So this is something which we do not like, and it's now currently stuck below that. Now, if we can actually recover the 76 cent, that will be positive. Otherwise, we can leave the stock alone. Now, power stock has generally weakened. So anyway, we just take a look. This is Force Resources trading within the channels, and there was this move that actually tested resistance followed by a pullback. So if you take a look actually at this point in time here, it is a small depot setup, but high here is at 375. But generally, we do not like to actually trade where there is overhead resistance. The sector itself actually doesn't exhibit strength, and this is quite evident from Bobitama. Notice a very deep retracement, and they bring its price below 1326 SMA. So this is generally negative. Now Wilmer appeared to be slightly stronger, but forming a very untidy kind of base. This is not a tight base, so it's usually quite tricky. I'd like to see whether eventually you can take out this high here of 402. Now Olam appeared to be moving very nicely, but unfortunately today it break out, it kind of failed. This is the very nice base that was broken out quite decisively because of the increase in volume. And here we have a contraction setup. It actually broke out today, but didn't close well. We can actually look for the stock to continue to pull back and look for new setups. Eventually take out this high here of 146.